Hello, once again Satyajit along with Sankar Halder, founder president of Mukti. Welcome Sankar. In last few episodes, we were talking about one of the vertical education. Within that we talked about and we have seen that Mukti has education project spectrum entirely, means starting from class 1 until we have seen people get job. So from Kishalai to MSS to TSS to MIT, so vocational training. So all the spectrum area we are working in terms of education. Now what next? I think there is a big revolution is going to come in education sector.
Correct.
And it's coming up. I think people are already started feeling about it.
Correct.
So what we have our unique thought and what is that we are doing to accept that and to going into that direction.
Interesting. You want to go in future, right? Okay. Look, I believe the current education system which is running is not working for the society completely. It's a very bold statement, but unfortunately that is. And there should be a big disruptions. Otherwise, we cannot. I would call that like in industry, the revolution, it is a 4.0, right? 4.0. Business 4.0. And then it is the time for education 4.0. Version 4. Yeah, and that should be our next generation educations.
Yeah.
And that should come in taking the hand of digital and artificial intelligence.
Just to going into it, like when we say 4.0, then what was 1.0?
Oh, yeah, then definitely it will help you. When we all were animal at that stage, when we started differentiating from animal, only the education differentiated us. When we developed our language and we were communicating each other, at the name of it's called Shruti, right? That's the education, first education level 1. It went up to even when we we formal educations, books and others at that kind of levels. So still maybe a few thousand years we are on that particular phase. And after that, the education second generation is started coming when we made it kind of institutionalized. How it is? We used to send our kids to Guru Griho, it's called. Gurukul. In Indian context, if you say. When the kids are 4 years old, they will go to Guru Griho or Gurukul. They will be over there still age of 12 or 17, 18, still on that age. And they will be getting a holistic education, not only just educations for academic education. They will be learning their livelihood, their other value educations, how to take care,
For a complete human being, like. So Guru has a lot of responsibility there.
And that time, already the written paper and that kind of a book started coming in and that particular time. So in this particular education 2.0, we had written materials and we had also structures where we started giving education to the kids. That also few thousand years it went on that.
Yeah.
Then we realized that it actually not functioning because this education system has a lot of limitations because parents has to leave their kids for a longer period, right?
Yeah.
And then parent actually, it's a very disheartening for them for a certain longer period that they'll go to a Guru Griha and then every Guru also has some kind of limitation, right? If something goes wrong based on the Guru, that the quality of the student also will depend.
And also the progress also happen very rapidly. So the level of knowledge or the dimensions of the knowledge also increased a lot. So the one guru may be not able to cope up with everything.
Everything, because the subject are being
So
vast.
vast,
Yeah.
it's become so.
So then from the limitation to solve the education 3.0, it started coming. How it is, and still it was continuing 3.0, I would say. How it is, it's kind of a vanilla educations. Student will not go to Guru Griha, and Guru also will not host that for a completely for an entire time. There will be a third place, middle place, where the kids from home, they will be going there and the teachers will come there. And the teachers also will be subject specific teachers. So we are resolving that limitation of gurus. One guru cannot teach everything.
So
And kids also need not to go and stay for a longer time, 12 years in Guru Griha. So it's a nice solutions, but it has a huge, and still it is happening, right? The current education system, if you see, is that education 3.0, but it has limitations. What limitations we have? According to me, this education is working for limited number of people. 7+ billion people we have involved, and only somehow maybe 1.2 billion people are actually in the ambit of education in the current education system. And a large amount of human beings are actually left out.
outside of this.
Correct. And the education system is now what is available for elites.
Yeah.
If you have elites, mean if you have monetary elite, you have a lot of money, you can get admission in everywhere. And you have meritorious elite. You have extraordinary merit, so you can get also. So it only elites can get, and elites also is very subjective matters. It means who are elite. Only we are stamping if you are good in English, good in mathematics, good in science, you are elite.
Yeah.
But education is a holistic education in a particular. If you think what is education, whatever capacity you have, or wherever you are good at, enable that to a ultimate level. It's a kind of a education, right? So everything it cannot. So say for example, if someone is failing in mathematics or English, you cannot stamp that you are a failure in education. So that cannot happen. Right?
That manifestation basically.
And not only that, a student in Somalia, in Sundarban, are deprived of getting education, prime education, maybe from engineering, medical, or maybe from prime institutions. How it is? A London School of Economics or a Harvard or a engineering school, any you take name, or any other management school over here, these kids are actually the teachers is coming and teaching only maybe handful of students, maybe 30 or 40. So today the technology is available. If a nice professor is giving lectures for 40 kids in London School of Economics, why that cannot we make it available for the whole world, right? What education? What you need for educations? You just need for an education. You need kind of a few material to read, teachers to help you to understand the concept. Whether you have understood the concept correctly or not, you need a checkpoint, exam. These are the three things we need, basically. Yeah. And the student. So these three things can be available. Say for example, in any good teachers of the any whole world.
If they can teach one person, they can teach 100 people.
100 millions, billions, right? Only if the language is not barrier. So that can be. And the material which is available, that material also we can make it available for everyone. And then that should be a checkpoint, and then it's done. Well, the education is done. So that way, yes, maybe for science and other subjects, you need kind of a laboratory and others for hands-on. So that can be a shared service we can make available. The people can go and take, not necessarily because laboratory in science, not everyone or every day that kids go or enter into, right? They want few classes.
That can be localized pocket.
Localized pocket and that kind. Yeah. So what I want to mean, the education 4.0 will be massive customization. number one, whatever education I need, I will be designing my course. I will be defining my course.
Yeah.
I will be taking one chapter from this book, another chapter from one book, another chapter from one book, and this is the way I am. I will be taking guidance from my guide, and this is the way. Now you think is that what? Literally, I want to mean that 7 billion people will be 7 billion course, and 7 billion exam systems. Is it
Every
possible?
person is unique. If I don't like my mathematics, why do I should read mathematics?
It makes sense.
Okay, some basic level I need, but that doesn't mean that I have to read so much of the mathematics. We talked about 4.0, education 4.0. We are talking about how 4.0 evolved from 1.0, and then we understand that okay, what is the need of today. But then what we are doing, how Mukti is thinking about implementing this 4.0. So how we are doing? Can you just throw some lights on that?
Yeah. So as I said, we need customized education for all, right? And the education should not be confined within the boundary of within the school. It should come out. So that's why I said that we have to break down the boundary of the schools, and the education should flash out for everyone. So that's the concept. And so if that is the concept, then we need to take care the content to be available, material to be available for everyone. So for that, the teaching of teachers, if you can capture in video, and every chapter wise if you can capture the concept and the material, and that we can make available in system. And now everyone has that mobile devices and others, so they can play through.
So digitally available.
Right, and then multiple times they can go through.
Yeah.
Advantage is that in normal school, if the teacher is teaching and if you cannot remember and you cannot understand anything, you cannot repeat that. Here is multiple times you can repeat that, right? And also you have the option of multiple teachers. The one teachers, the way they are teaching you do not like, so you have multiple options.
Yeah. And also it is not just one more point to that. It's not that you have to by 10 for 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock you have to be only learning. At any time it is available to you.
Correct.
If you are
and
busy
then,
doing something at that point of time, does not for everyone does not suit the same time, right? So they can watch that at a point of time. Which
exactly.
Them.
So 4.1 that should not be any schooling time.
Yeah,
Schooling time. So it will be any time learning. Say I am I normally I work with my parent, and I get time at midnight. So I'll be studying at midnight, and my teachers is available always. So we're giving. So this way we are putting all the videos on cloud. It's available for number one, and we have already did. We have 5,000 such learning material. We put it in videos in class 5 to 10, and it's available. And at the time of pandemic,
and it's free of cost.
It is free of cost.
Everyone.
Everyone.
So we have a portal.
muktiacademy.in. Yeah.
So anyone can go
Yeah.
into that portal and they can look into it.
Correct. And then very soon there will be app also available for that.
Yeah.
And now the thing is that after going through one chapter and related material, there will be subsequent few questions to test whether you have understood the chapters perfectly or not. So that also digitally will be available. So we are augmenting those module one after
When the
one.
student login, they can take those.
Correct. So 10 questions on a particular chapter they can see, and that will be logged immediately through computer.
But in case someone has a doubt on that content or that particular video or the subject, how
Yeah.
that will be taken?
So a subject teachers, let's take a physics on particular chapter. So we are already conducting a teacher student doubt clearing sessions, question answer sessions. It is being published that whoever wants to join and clarify the questions answers, they can join. So a session maybe 1 hour dedicated, teacher is being online. So the kids who are already going through all the concept, they can come and clarify, they can ask the questions. So maybe we have observed maybe 200, 300 kids are joining together one time. And you know the question has a common pattern. So if you 10 questions if you answer, then even the 200 kids that do not have any other question because any other distinct questions.
And not necessarily that they have to come to the session to answer the question, to write their question. So basically in the field, comment field and the area
They can write that,
specific,
yeah.
write it and put my question. So
Yeah, and
I have
teachers.
a doubt on that.
Yeah.
So that get registered.
Right.
So that is being collected. And
Yeah.
then we can have a consolidated session.
Right, and a number of students also tag to one teachers. So if as soon as they put the question will go to a particular teachers and in teacher's inbox. So teacher can log in and answer, and it will also flow. So one-to-one catch up, so they can. So we are taking care of material learnings for concept clearing, the teaching, and then doubt clearing sessions. And now the exam, right? Exam system always, that also will be on online. So nicely we do. But what is the next step? When I am talking that there should not be any, the next generation education, there should not be any teachers. Or there will be only the lecturer or teacher will be very limited. We need only few for every language, for every subject. And the rest of the things we do not need. So then is a question, so it's a getting job loss for millions of teachers, right? They will not have any job because it's actually this technology and the concept will take over their job, right? Because if you see the same subject, same things people are teaching in everywhere, right? So they will be losing job. So our concept is that teachers will be converted into a guide. Yeah. A student, what he study, how to study, and that kind of throughout the journey, the guide will be guide, and then they will be saying that this is the material you can go through. If the guide will tell them that this concept is not, probably you are not understanding, it is very difficult to understand him, but you can try this one. So that way the guide will be guiding through a teacher through the path, but not concentrating on clearing the doubts and concepts, because that's the redundant things we want to avoid. And they once they are going through a particular concept video, they have to rank it like Ola and Uber, out of 5. And the most rated videos will come up.
Automatically come up.
So the people will know that this many people are liking this way of teaching. So that way the teacher will be evaluated.
Yeah.
So we can evaluate the teachers based on the feedback of students.
And interestingly, this is completely free, and also we know that for a particular class, based on the syllabus of that board, it has been curated in that way.
Yeah.
So it's an enormous effort which has been gone into it to curate all these materials, which are some things are available, and putting them together and creating a complete overview of that.
Yeah, and the next generation which I must add over here. So we are going to add the AI and ML, artificial intelligence bot. We already developing in the advanced stage. We call it Gurudev. So this bot will take the data and behavioral of any students from class 1 to 10, how that kids are progressing, their result. If it is an outside of the digital system, we have to put in digital systems. Then the behavioral of that kids, what he or she is interacting in Instagram, in Facebook, in others, interest of playing and others. And then the data of industry.
Which video he is liking.
Yeah, which he is liking. So that kind of things, the information will be gathered. Then the behavioral approach wise, the suggestion will come up, which is very much required nowadays. The kids after class 10 or 12, like that, what stream they will be studying.
Yeah.
We have to keep in mind that the job which available in today's market, in 10 years down the line, 80% of the job will expire and the new job will come in the market, and which we cannot predict now what kind of job is going to come. So that's the challenge it is. So we have to extrapolate and think that maybe a kid is starting in class 6 or 7 or class 10. After 5 years or 6 years when he is completing his masters, in 6 years down the line, what kind of job will be available in that market? So based on that, you have to guide the kids that you take this subject, then only you can actually meeting. And this grossly actually it will fail by the parents, because parents are old, they are thinking at that level, right, in that time. But the time is passing very fast. So
disliking automatically comes in.
So that help, that Gurudev artificial intelligence, that the things which we are trying to make, that will give the option. But he will not take the decision, only the suggestions. And then the guide will come and will take that guide. Okay, these are the 4 decision has come up, but 4 options out of that, these are the options, you can go for it. So the student counseling will be a very important part using the artificial intelligence and machine learning in
and
future.
it will be completely unbiased. Like even if you are within your parents and your teacher and all, there will be some kind of atmospheric or environmental bias will always be there. Your family background, your personal choice and all those things. But if this way it is done, I think probably those bias, because they are not biased.
Well, to some extent that is true, but not fully, Satyajit. I will tell you in another aspect that technology is non-bias, agnostic. But this technology, artificial intelligence, is different. Artificial intelligence technology can be biased because it is depend on trend. What we are training to the artificial intelligence, it will behave on such a way. So this technology can be biased and can be corrupted also. So it's mean it's a huge risk. What we are teaching and how we are teaching to the artificial intelligence bot, based on that it will give the result. But it is not. It's not like any other technology. All other technology is very much agnostic, but artificial intelligence is not. So we have to keep in mind. But yeah, somehow if you say it should work agnostically and it's not biased. Why it is important? This is a kind of an open source which we are making from our initiative. And the IT professionals around the world who are doing the volunteer, they are contributing to it. It's a completely free of cost. It has a potential to give the education to the to the kids who are actually is not ambit of the education and they cannot afford. Because the tendency which is going, if you see nowadays, what I am talking in this particular field, there are giant. That unicorn, they are also investing in education, to taking the digital education to capture and they give it. You can take the many names, I don't want to take the name of them. But in open source wise, something should come up to compete them, because otherwise there will be a digital bot, digital artificial intelligence, these things will be available, but it will be available to
the elite
again for the elite and for a commercial purpose it will be used. People will make money of it. Again, that education will be driven by money. So you have to be very careful. That's why we have to develop very carefully over here. So I will add in this way. People who want to contribute over here, they need to contribute in terms of technology, their time, their money, and their sense, so that we can make a parallel systems which will in future will give the future generation of educations, and it will evolve, because as we are thinking, and then it will maybe it will have that kind of capability of competing with the commercial models.
We come to know complete the muktiacademy.in, how it works and where it is now. So many people are getting benefited. We are looking at the education 4.0. So thank you very much. We will come up once again with some more interesting projects which Mukti is doing in education field and in other field. So today until now this much. Thank you very much.